tutulog ka na nga sa kutsyon, kumakain ka na nga ng lechon, bakit aalis ka pa doon? Ang pagkakamali ko lang is, I thought if you are successful, kala ko tatawid ka lang, I lost my savings, I lost my car.
Protect as much as possible your core values. And for you to be able to protect that, start early, no? Building yung iyong backup plan.
When God brought you there in that safe place, then you can always make decision based on your core values and based on the purpose of God na nilagay sa puso mo.
Magandang araw, ako ang iyong Kuya E. And sa episode na to, pag-uusapan natin yung career na Executive HR Coach and Advisor. So kung meron kang tanong sa mga ganitong klaseng profession, type mo lang dyan sa comments at sasagutin natin yan. Paano nga ba mag-lead na may puso pero may prinsipyo? Sa susunod nating episode, makikilala nyo ang isang HR trailblazer na hindi lang namuno sa corporate world, kundi iniwan ito para sundan ang mas malalim na calling. Isang believer, strategist, at certified kickstarter. Taga Maynila at hanggang ngayon ay proud na dito pa rin nakabase. Siya ang Chief Human Resource Officer ng Market Reach International, isang kumpanya na kilala sa larangan ng export, import at distribution. Pero hindi lang siya basta executive. Isa rin siyang multi-awarded thought leader. Tinanghal siyang 2023 Pillar of HR at isa sa mga kilalang boses pagdating sa corporate at digital accountability. Madalas siyang na-feature sa iba't ibang media platforms. Dati rin siyang learning and development head. Pero noong 2010, pinili niyang iwan ang corporate world para sundan ang sarili niyang calling. At doon nagsimula ang mas malalim niyang misyon. At may layuning baguhin ang mindset ng mga Pinoy pagdating sa adulting at leadership. Narito siya ngayon para magbigay ng insights at inspiration. Let's all welcome Sunny Santos, ang iyong advocate, strategist at kickstarter. Welcome, bro, sa ating show for this week.
And thank you for the invitation.
Kumusta?
Better than good.
Yes, better than good. So, simulan natin, bro, doon sa title na Executive HR Coach and Advisor. Paano nagsimula itong career na to? Ano yung before na situation mo, and then paano mo siya naisip, and paano mo siya nasimulan?
Pagdating sa professional environment, I started my career as training officer sa isang retail company. And kami ang responsible sa pag-develop ng employee from orientation as a newly hired hanggang doon sa bago sila i-deploy as leaders. And from there, I was promoted to be a senior HR manager, and I stayed with the same company for 10 years. And on the 10th year, ako'y pinirata ng isang kilalang car distribution company and offered me the assistant to VP position.
Wow.
And I stayed there for 2 years, and after that, I decided to go solo. And that was sometime 2010. So, between the time hanggang sa ngayon, I began to navigate the freelancing and the consulting environment. Trying to find my niche, my voice, and how to add the most value doon sa mga stakeholders. And basically, dalawa yung grupo na I am attempting to add value to. Ito yung mga young professionals and mga young HR that would like to improve on their craft. Isa sa mga challenges ng HR, kung ikaw ay rank and file, susunod ka lang, walang masyadong stress. But as you move up the ladder, you will be now exposed into politics, and sometimes your core values will be affected. Like, pwede kang sabihan, tanggalin mo nga yung driver natin kasi hindi ko gusto yung pagmumukha.
Okay.
I mean, that's actual instruction. Doon pa lang sa mga instruction na yon, ano ba ang dapat na gawin ng HR? So kung si HR, ang kanyang objective is to protect his own turf, his security of tenure, then ita-turn off niya ang conscience at susunod siya sa instruction. Okay? Now, as you move up into the leadership ladder, mas lalong bumibigat yung mga requests. Like, tanggalin mo yung ating isang executive kasi siya yung weakest link. Ano ba yung basis natin para tanggalin? Siya lang yung weakest link.
Okay.
Hindi masubstantiate kung bakit siya naging weakest link. So, ang HR ngayon, again, kung iisipin niya ang kanyang personal na interest, isa sa isang tabi niya kung ano ang tama at mali sa kanyang core values at susunod doon sa nag-uutos sa kanya. For them, as early as they are, mag-develop na sila ng side hustle, ng side gig na pwedeng pumantay yung kanyang side hustle doon sa kanyang employment salary para walang pwedeng humawak sa kanya o manakot sa kanya. It's one of my learning lessons in the past na hindi ko mo successful ka sa corporate. Pag tumawid ka doon sa solopreneurship or entrepreneurship, carry over mo yung success. Actually, hindi. Di ba? Ang ginagalawan kong mundo ngayon ay mga business owners. Some are expats. So, pumapasok ko pagdating doon sa executive coaching on what's the real value of HR. Meron kasing dalawang school of thought ng HR. Yung una, alipin ka kung anong sabihin sa'yo ng management, sundin mo.
Okay.
Then the other extreme, naghahari-harian ka na dapat susunod sa'yo kasi HR ka. Ikaw ang nakakaalam ng mga regulatory compliance and policies, etc. Both extremes are wrong. Kasi ang HR dapat ando doon sa gitna. Nakikinig at humahanap ng paraan to add value. And I always advise the executives to really figure out ano ba yung gusto nilang role ng HR nila. Dalawa kasi yan to simplify. Merong HR operations, merong HR strategic. Pag sinabi mo operations, ito yung day-to-day na payroll, policy formulation, engagement, recruitment, etc. And then on the other side, ito yung strategic partner. Kasama mo yung HR na magplano for the next 10 years ang pupunta ang kumpanya. Kadalasan, ang isang executive, yung dalawang expectation na yan binibigay niya sa HR. But in real life, one will suffer and one will flourish. Pagka tinutukan niya yung pagiging strategic partner, may mga nasusunog at sumasabog sa day-to-day operations.
Sa
May hindi
operations.
sweldo, mayroong kulang sweldo, may policies na hindi maayos, etc. Pero ang pagkapulido naman ng operations, di ba? Then napapabayaan naman ano ba yung dapat natin gawin for the next so
Nauubos
years.
yung oras dun sa operation.
Yeah, so it's always determining ano ba yung gusto mo mangyari and then we can find the sweet spot paano natin i-design ang iyong HR. And likewise, it's more on aligning, making sure na yung kanilang negosyo, whether big or small, merong values, merong mission, merong vision, at yung kanilang long-term or strategic plan is anchored doon sa kanilang vision. Yung kanilang CSR is anchored on their mission. Tapos ang kanilang rules of the game, policies, and so forth, is naka-anchored naman doon sa values. So it's more on aligning them, na making sure na lahat ng ginagawa mo hindi suntok sa buwan. Kundi bawat effort, it helps you to bring from point A to point B kung ano yung target mo sa organization. Kadalasan kasi ngayon, maraming mga negosyo, strike everywhere. Di ba parang they are surviving for the sake of surviving.
Yeah.
Pero hindi nila alam kung saan sila papunta. So, isa sa mga reason why I am attempting to influence some of the executives is makita nila, teka muna, it's not all about making money. Because if making money is only the purpose, then temporary lang yung business. Sometimes kailangan yon, sometimes necessary yon, di ba? Kasi kung halimbawa may nakita kang opportunity, katulad ng COVID, ang daming nagsulputang gumawa ng face mask, face shield, etc. Pero ngayon wala ng COVID, tiklop na yung kumpanya. So okay lang yung pag may opportunity, grab it. Pero majority of the time, yung baby na inaalagaan mong isang negosyo, di ba? Then dapat meron kang endgame dyan eh. Ano ba yung nilagay ng Diyos sa puso mo? Di ba? So yun yung isa sa mga role na ginagampanan ko. Teka muna, ano ba yung purpose mo? Ano ba yung gusto mo mangyari dito sa kumpanya mo? And then we will design now your values, mission, and vision based on that. Tapos align natin yung mga strategies mo on the HR and organization side. Paano mo ma-achieve yun? So in a nutshell, yun yung ginagawa ko ngayon as an HR executive.
Wow! In a nutshell. Mahaba-habang kwento yun. Pero balikan natin bro, nung nag-start ka, you mentioned, di ba, na yung mga employees, nag-work ka rin, no, for a corporate, hanggang sa point na nagsarili ka. Yung transition yun, kasi maraming, well, mas marami yung working kaysa dun sa may business. No? And yung challenge nila is, natatakot silang tumalon from being employed to being self-employed or being an entrepreneur. In your case, ano yung pinag-isipan mo? How did you decide to transition from employee to self-employed or entrepreneur?
It's hindi practical yung naging decision ko dito. This is more on conviction eh. Kasi if I would be staying in an environment that is already affecting my conscience, dadating yung time na I will not be bothered anymore on the things that I am doing. So, usap kami mag-asawa, sabi ko, it will be tough to make this call. And pero if hindi ka komportable dyan, I will stay. Pero ang ayaw ko lang mangyari is you will one day wake up with a husband na nawala na yung conviction as long as you will pay me this, give me this, enjoy this and that. Then as long as we're enjoying this material wealth pero wala na yung conviction, sabi ko, ayokong dumating ako doon sa point na gano'n. Okay, so it's not a question of are we prepared, are we ready, o meron ka bang Canva plan pagdating sa isang ano. Hindi, walang gano'n. It's more on dumating ako doon sa point na alam ko yung purpose mo as a professional, di ba? Pero hindi mo na-accomplish yun because of your environment. So, ano yung dapat mong gawin? So, I made a judgment call based on that. Ang pagkakamali ko lang is back then, noong 2010, yung binanggit ko kanina, I thought if you are successful, because back then I was already an executive, an assistant VP. So, akala ko tatawid ka lang from one step to the other. And then you will maintain the same status,
Same
the same
level,
success, etc. Okay. So I was very wrong because I lost my savings, I lost my car, and everything. And it took me more than a year before everything picked up. So parang nung sumampa ko dyan, akala ko, andirito ako. Hindi, kailangan ko ulit mag-umpisa doon sa ibaba. Naubos lahat, so I have to work my way up. And another assumption that I did, I thought my friends would be supportive of my endeavor. Na, uy, freelancer ka na. Uy, so alam naman nila yung capabilities mo and everything. So you thought they will be your first customers. Okay. But actually, hindi nangyari yun. Parang at the back of their mind, is your call. Diba? So, parang gusto nilang ma-prove na what you did is stupid and wrong. And they wanted you to realize that what you did is stupid and wrong. Natutulog ka na nga sa kutsyon. Kumakain ka na nga ng lechon. Bakit aalis ka pa doon? Okay. And they conveyed the message strongly and I did really get it. Ang choice ko na lang noon, if my wife would say, hindi ko na kayang sabayan yung nangyayari sa atin, I will throw away every bit of principle that I have and just focus on taking care of the family. But the good thing is, even though we're struggling back then, my wife shut her mouth okay, and then just supported me along the way. And then things became better. Kaya nga ang advice ko ngayon, wag mo hintayin maging successful ka bago ka mag-start ng business. Habang wala ka pang na-achieve professionally based on target kasi success is variable diba? So habang hindi mo pa na-achieve yung professional targets mo in terms of position or salary, start something on the side. Kahit na ang daming sangkatutak na andyan yan. Start something, diba? Tapos doon sa mga inuumpisa mo, mayroon dyan mag-flourish And then begin to take care of it. Hanggang sa yung kinikita mo dito, sumasabay din ito. Diba? Pag sumabay yan ngayon, then nobody can just, sorry for the term, push you or bullshit you around. Because sinong tatakutin mo, hindi mo ko hawak sa
Correct.
Diba? So, kaya mo ngayong sumabay. And pag dumating yung point, because entrepreneurship is not a cup of tea for everybody. Diba? Yung iba talagang mas gusto nila yung environment sa
Employee.
as an employee.
Corporate,
Hindi masama yun Pero mas maganda pa rin na meron kang ibang sources of income. Diba? Kasi in that case, nobody can control you. You can always walk away anytime in any given situation. Nobody can push you around. Okay? And ang pinakamaganda doon, and this is experientially, in my years of exposure sa kumpanya, the more na takot kang mawala ng trabaho, the more na i-take advantage ka. Halimbawa, dalawang sitwasyon. Parehong posisyon. Yung isa, nagte-threaten na iwanan ko kayo, magre-resign ako. Yung isa tahimik lang, mahal niya yung trabaho, etc. Pero sino yung nabibigyan ng adjustment na disproportionate? Yung nananakot, Kasi ayaw nilang mawala. Yung nananahimik kasi mahal niya yung trabaho ay hindi naman niya naalis kasi loyal yan sa kumpanya.
So, hindi.
Bibigyan pa rin siya ng adjustment but not on the same level or percentage nung every now and then nananakot. Nagtatrata na magre-resign. Okay, so ito lang yung nakita ko na pag merong isang professional na willing to leave everything behind, the more na, teka muna, kailangan natin to, ingatan natin to para hindi umalis. Compared dun sa masaya, naging loyal, di ba? Ginagawa ang lahat, pero napag-iiwanan minsan. Kasi, masaya na yan eh. Hindi tayo ilalaglag yan. Hindi tayo iiwanan yan. So, laging meron, kahit sabihin natin hindi nangyayari yon o imposibleng mangyari yon, but I've seen it. Okay, I tried to correct it back then, and laging andyan yun eh. Diba? So, para lagi kang ando doon sa safe place. When God brought you there in that safe place, then you can always make decision based on your core values and based on the purpose of God na nilagay sa puso mo. Hindi doon sa necessity. Kasi may pinag-aaral ka pa. Kasi may binabayaran ka pang kotse o kaya bahay. Diba? Hindi yun yung reason mo why you will make crucial decisions.
Grabe, daming learning. So, in summary, sa ating episode for today, number one talaga is your core values. Protect as much as possible your core values. And for you to be able to protect that, start early. Building yung iyong backup plan. Yun nga, start a small gig. And para pag umabot yung level ng income ng iyong small gig or side hustle doon sa income mo, sa salary, kapag medyo nako-compromise na yung principles mo and yung core values mo while you're employed, at least you have a backup. Again, another very important lesson sa ating lahat. So thank you very much, Brother Sunny. Kung merong mga companies na kailangan ng isang HR coach and advisor, paano kanila makukontak?
May presence naman ako sa lahat ng social media channel. So, i-type lang nila yung Ask Sunny. By the way, yung Ask Sunny, hindi pagyayabang yun. Tawagan niyo ako, tanungin niyo ako. Merong meaning yung Ask eh. It's an advocate, an strategist, and Kickstarter. Okay. Sinundan ko na lang yung naumpisang personal brand na ibinigay sa akin ng isang kumpanya. And I build my online presence based on that. So, i-type lang nila yun. They can find my website, my blog, and the other social media platforms.
Galing. Thank you very much, bro. So sa ating viewers, thank you so much for watching this episode. Kung gusto nyo pa ng mas maraming learnings, good vibes, at good news, make sure to like and follow and share na rin. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. At syempre, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel para lagi kang updated sa mga next nating kwento. Kita-kits ulit sa susunod na episode. Dito lang sa show na hatid ay good news.